I'm glad you opened this video up. I got a short one for you today. Keyboard, that is. And boy, is it a different one. Probably. At least it is for me. Obins sent over their Pro RGB mechanical keyboard, a teeny tiny tool that I can totally relate to. But it's not the size of the tool, it's how you use it. Or whatever. Out of the box, you get a keycap puller, a Bluetooth dongle, a really nice 1.8-ish meter ribbon kind of cable, and a white rubber management cable strap. It's a Bluetooth 4.0 enabled device, but you can choose to connect via cable only. The model they sent me has a black body and blue Gateron switches with a 50 million keystroke lifespan, but you can also opt for a white board and brown or red Gaterons as well. As a 60% board, your function keys and number keys are squished into the same bunks, and then your arrow keys, insert, delete, home, end, page up, page down, scroll lock, pause break, and print screen are all pushed into the board's main body. And rest in peace number pad. But we can talk about this later. The board is, unsurprisingly, super minimalistic, leaving little more than the double-shot PBT keycaps, impressively sturdy construction, RGB, and 4 rubber feet and pinhole for resetting are on the bottom to comment on. The board has full key rollover and doesn't require drivers, but you can customize via a phone app? I can't find it in the Google Play Store, but I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to ignore that link, the other way to do it is through the QR code on the back of the box. This brings you to the WeChat app, where you have to follow Obins, and then from there, tap on the Pro tab on the bottom. Translate the site to English if you can't read Chinese, tap on the burger button up top, then choose App. Scroll down a bit and you're greeted with another QR code. You can tap on the Android or Apple icons to bring you somewhere. This didn't do anything for me, but if you tap the 3 dots up top, you can select Open with Browser and you should be prompted for download and install. Back to the WeChat app, you can also find the board's user manual, where you'll find useful things like pressing both Alt keys at once will toggle the board to function mode, and pressing both control keys will switch between 3 different layouts, but we can go over the rest in a bit. To set up Bluetooth with your phone, click Function and be on the board. After that, tap the +/equals key to tell the board to search for its soulmate. Go to your device, make sure Bluetooth is on, scan for devices, and look for Annie. Once selected, your phone will give you a 6-digit code and the board's number row should be breathing in green. Punch that code into Anne, remember that domestic violence is not the answer, hit enter, and then you should be good to go. Optionally, if you intend on connecting this to multiple devices, which you probably should since you need the phone app to customize macros and lighting, while still in Bluetooth pairing on the board, you'll notice that numbers 1 through 4 should be in red. Clicking function and any of the numbers will save that pairing to that slot. From there, hit escape or function B again to exit Bluetooth mode. Setting up Bluetooth on a computer, either Mac or Windows will work, is almost the same. Start pairing on the board, go to the computer you're trying to connect with, and plug the dongle in if said computer doesn't already have Bluetooth functionality. I'm on Windows 10, so if you can't find the Bluetooth icon in the little caret menu in the bottom right, you can just search for it and it should be relatively easy to find. Click Add Bluetooth or other devices, then Bluetooth for mice, keyboards, pens, etc., and the Pro should show up. From here, pairing is the same process as before. While connected to the app, which is riddled with spelling errors, but hey, it's in 2 languages, so it's managed more than I could ever do, you can check out settings and general information, customize macros, change the board layout to one of 3 options, and customize lighting. Settings and information is boring, so we'll skip to macros. To start, tap the plus icon. Tap on the macro name field to easily identify it later, and then the trigger key field to specify an activation key. If the macro name field doesn't let you enter anything, try backing out and re-entering the macro. Click Record Macros, start typing on the board, and then click the green icon when you're done. From there, you can edit the keystrokes by long pressing on the white area of the text icons, or edit the delay by long pressing the time field on top of the icon. You can delete and add actions with the X and plus icons, and move selected actions left or right in the queue, though you can't move anything without those arrows, which is a real drag. Once you're done, tap Finish up top, then Application up top again to save it to the board. To activate your macro, hold the AND key and press the button you specified as a trigger earlier, and then probably be met with disappointment, because I couldn't get macros to work at all. Obins says they're working on a firmware update that should fix this, but certain companies have taught me not to hold my breath. To delete your failure, hold the macro and click Sure. The next tile is for alignment, where you can select your preferred layout out of 3 default ones, or customize your own. While this function in the app worked for me, cycling through these with the 2 control keys didn't do anything aside from show which alignment I was currently on. The board's RGB can be cycled by pressing Function and U, or by selecting the effects through the app. You have access to staic colors like red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, pink, orange, white, the French flag, the Italian flag, the Argentina flag, a breathing effect that cycles through a few of the colors, rainbow light, a type lighting per key effect, another type lighting per key effect that doesn't fade away but cycles the color every time the key is pressed instead, a Bomberman effect that they call Pop Tang, and a colorful effect that's, well, colorful. These can be kind of edited. Clicking the little icon to the right of the effect names lets you customize the colors, but these are saved to a new static profile under the custom tab. Speaking of the custom tab, for per key backlighting, click the plus button up top, name the lighting profile, set your brightness, and go to the Turn Color tab. Start selecting the keys you want to adjust, either in zones on the side or by selecting them individually. Once selected, tap the color you want or long press the color to change it. Hit save up top, then tap your new profile to save it to the board. This new lighting mode is not added to the list you can cycle through. If you change your lighting mode and you want to set it back to whatever you customized, you'll need to do it through the app again. Outside of the app, you can toggle RGB on or off by pressing Function and R. Function and T will adjust the effect speed if applicable, and Function and Y will adjust brightness and steps. Now that that's all done and dusted, my experience with the board was a little bit of love and a little bit of less love. For the love, the Gateron blue switches felt nice to type on, and the double shot PBT caps felt good to the touch. The lighting is bright and vibrant enough on its own, complemented further by a white base plate, making everything pop just right. With the cable connected, the board demonstrated good reliability, void of dropping keys and double registers, which I guess transitions pretty nicely into the less love. If you want to rock wireless mode, you can get a full charge in roughly 3 to 4 hours, and battery lasted about 2 hours with lighting at max brightness, and a hell of a lot longer than that with the lights out. But in my experience, Bluetooth was pretty shifty. Even on a full charge, it'll never be as reliable as a cabled connection. I'm goofing off on a rhythm game called K-Shoot Mania here, and while this test isn't exactly scientific, you can see significantly less professionalism on the wireless run. That being said, it'll work if you want to do anything casual or you just want to do some simple tasks from afar, but if you're aiming for anything competitive, I recommend getting wired first. That worked like a charm. And to be honest with you, I really like the cable, so I'm kind of oddly satisfied with just keeping it plugged in. Back to the less love. The app isn't particularly user-friendly. While there is an English translation, this doesn't apply to everything, like their firmware page, for example. Customizing macros didn't work for me, though some people said they've gotten it going, so your mileage may vary, and changing the per key lighting can be pretty tedious and aggravating, especially if you have sausage fingers like I do. And you can't really customize any of the effects outside of brightness and speed. That being said, there's lots of work to be done. Come on, Obins, apply yourself. Aside from that, I've got a lot of petty things I can pick at, like the rubber cable strap could afford to be a little larger, and probably black to match the keyboard. The secondary functions on the key should also be transparent for late night shenanigans. No indicator for scroll lock, though caps lock does make the key light up in red. There are no feet for extra elevation around the back. No way to turn the keyboard off, though you can disable the lighting to save battery. And no included wrist rest, but then again, that detracts from the tiny factor. Despite all this, I still say it's a pretty solid device. Literally, it's really sturdy. It's just nice to type on. Even if you can't use macros or the wireless is a little dodgy, I'm still satisfied with this as a strictly wired device. You'll find this on Amazon for $90 US, which is pretty steep in my opinion, but you can also find this on GearBest for about $63, which is much more compelling. And for the in-between, this is a tiny board. While it seems odd to buy a literally lesser product, sometimes less is more practical. For those of you looking for a travel-sized board, or with limited desk space, or if you just want a super clean, super simple look, you might be interested in the D-, because it's a 60% keyboard. But that being said, it's not for everyone, and it's certainly not for me, since I do like my number pad and dedicated macro and media keys. But it could be for you. Literally, it could be for you. Obins is giving one of these away to one of you beautiful people, so check out the Gleam link in the description and the winner will be announced on my Twitter in a week. It'll also be announced in the next video I do after that date has passed, so if you want to know as soon as possible. And so that's all I have to say about that. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, share, leave me questions if you've got them. Thanks for watching. My name is Steven and I am ALittleDIMM. Bye bye. Who thought such a short device would end up with such a long review? Kind of like how midget porn takes up so much hard drive space. I wonder if anybody noticed I only called it a board, which is pretty close to 60% of keyboard. Little Easter egg for you. Probably not that clever, but I was proud of it. Probably. At least it is for me. That probably came out sounding pretty weird. A teeny tiny tool that I can totally relate to. Totally relate to. I don't know how I want to say that. I need to make it sound like kind of sad, but like almost defeated sounding, but no, just pretty much defeated sounding, yeah. The model they sent me has a black body and blue Gateron switches. Gator? I'm not sure. I'm gonna say Gateron because that sounds more natural, but I don't think that's right just because of the way the word is structured. And then your arrow keys, my eye twitched. I don't know why I said that because I could have kept going. This is gonna be rolled over anyway. And 4 rubber Pete, that's good. Translate the site to English if you can't read Chinese. Tap on the burger button up top, the choose app, then choose app. Oh, I missed the N when I wrote this. Oops. Where you'll find useful things like pressing both. But we can go over that while connected to the app, riddled with spelling. While connected, which is riddled with spelling. If you spelled it the way I'm saying it, you'd be spelling it very wrong. You can edit the keystrokes by long pressing on the white area of the text icons, or edit the delay, and then tap your new profile to save it to the board. What? You'll need to do it again through the app. Through the app again, damn it. Come on, Obins. Apply yourself. I applied more to that joke than I really want to admit. You might be interested in the D minus because it's a 60 cent, because it's